I wish I was more into reading books. Growing up, I have never been the bookworm. I've never been into reading at all because me, like, honestly, I think my attention span is so cooked at this point where I literally just read a couple chapters of a book and then just forget about it for the rest of time, honestly. Like I forget about it forever. Like there is so much knowledge that you can learn from books that, I know of. And I'm currently trying to read this one book called East of Eden by John Steinbeck, and I was recommended to it by a guy named Jet Franzen, which I'm sure quite a few of you might be familiar with. He's kind of blowing up right now with his views and subscribers. But he pretty much had an Instagram post where he posted some books that he recommended, and East of Eden was one of them, and it looked interesting. So I just said, "Fuck it, why not?" So I bought it and I started reading it. I'm currently 9 chapters in, which I'm really proud of myself for because I bought this book maybe like a month or two ago. And honestly, the way the author writes this book is so unique. There's a lot of biblical references in it that blend into like regular life. It takes place in like maybe I think the 1950s. It's been some time since I've kind of got my hands on it, but it kind of explains this story of this father, his wife, and his two sons. And his two sons have kind of like a Cain and Abel relationship. Cain and Abel from the Bible. And it's just super interesting how the author makes these biblical references in there, like all like just it blends in really well with how they live their lives in this kind of more recent time. Besides that though, on the book, it's just so easy for me to get distracted when reading because like reading honestly, like depending on what kind of book you pick up, it can really be beneficial, healing even. It could like help you so much about figuring yourself out, how like what you think, like what you're into honestly. And it's just so damn, I'm like I sometimes get like a little envious. Like no, not envious. I get maybe like I kind of not really envious, but like I kind of look at other people who are bookworms and seeing them read and I just like man, like how do they have so much patience to read so long? Cuz I'm not going to lie, I sometimes find reading to be a little draining. Okay, like oh my god, when am I going to get to the next chapter? Like I'll be honest, I struggle with that. But it's just so like how do they do it, man? Like I would like some tips, honestly, like how to actually stick to reading for long periods of time. And I honestly would consider myself a really good reader. Like I hardly stutter, I hardly like misspell or not misspell, like mismatch words and everything. Like I hardly do that, and I really consider myself to be a good reader. And then I think to myself like, damn, I'm a good reader, but I don't read. Like it's wasted talent. But it's like I have so many books that are really beneficial, but I just don't stick to them. I forget about them so easily because I'm just always so dived into other things, maybe like procrastination as one of them. I procrastinate a fuck ton. But like I keep looking over at my book stand and I just like I'm just reflecting on how much time I've wasted that, like where I could have used that wasted time reading these books and it's a shame honestly because I know some of them would have helped me today. But I'm so lazy. I'm so slothful. Okay. I'm very slothful when it comes to reading. Like I would even try to read the Bible sometimes because I identify as a Christian. I'm Catholic. And growing up, I've always went to Catholic education and Catholic schools even. I still do. I go to a Catholic university. And I've had like people approach me about Bible study groups and I would always tell them like they would ask me if I was interested, not interested, sorry. They would ask me if I read the Bible at all. And I told them, yeah, but I'm super like inconsistent with it. And, like I remember I read the book of John maybe like all the way through one time, but I already forgot everything. Like it honestly made me think if I was even paying attention properly, to the word of God literally. But I'll be honest, like reading the Bible is boring. I don't know if that makes me a bad person. I don't know if other people will relate to that, but literally like I find the literal word of God to be boring. Okay, like that is so wrong of me to think as a Christian. But yeah, it's honestly a damn shame that I don't have much patience for it. And I wish I did. I wish I did. But, one day maybe when I'm a lot older, like an elderly man, maybe that's when I'll finally pick up reading. Like honestly, the only reading I've ever done where I've actually taken it seriously was doing these like reading quizzes in school where I had to meet like certain points, and I would usually read them in audiobooks. I would like hardly ever like physically read them, like with my own eyes and in my mind. I personally find myself to read a lot better out loud. Like I like to say the words out loud because it makes me better digest the information that's being said in the book. Honestly, I would really appreciate some comments on how to work on your reading skill. You know, like your reading habit, like how to be a lot more patient with reading, how to be more consistent with it. It's a damn shame. I'll see you guys later.